If you stopped working today, how long could you live comfortably with what you've saved? Right now? If I were living alone, maybe a year. Maybe. It would not be comfortable, though. But because I don't live alone, maybe a few years. I would be working a lot more around the house, though, you know? But it would not be pretty, you know? Millionaire, age 23, claims anyone can be rich in their 20s if they stop scrolling, as he calls his generation lazy. Wait, hold on. There's gotta be more to this story, right? Like, oh yeah, my dad actually owns a multi-billion-dollar company or some crap like that. But no, he made me work my way up. This is why there's a rush to get us back to the office. The office real estate crash will be so sharp and deep that Capital Economics thinks office values are unlikely to recover by 2040. Oh no! Maybe we should let people work from home and then turn those office buildings into real housing. You know what I mean? That's just a lot of wasted space for absolutely no goddamn reason, just so they have an easier time controlling you. Just work harder. Gavin Newsom ordered the what? Homelessness and Housing Initiative to find out just how bad San Francisco's crisis is. People are homeless because their rent is too high. The survey found that when nearly 3,200 people lost housing, their median income was $960 a month. For renters on leases, it was $1,400. In San Francisco, $960 a month. You wouldn't be able to make any payment with that money in San Francisco. That place is a nightmare. To those that live there, I do apologize. I hope to God something gets fixed there soon. We've got so much money floating around in the universe. Let's catch one of those comets and mine it. The rental housing crisis is a supply problem that needs supply solutions. The median annual pay during the Great Depression was 22% of the cost of an average home. Today, it's 14%. That means that pay relative to home cost made it easier to buy a home during the Great Depression than right now. This is absurd. Well, I think the very, very first thing we need to do is make it illegal for anybody else, or rather, illegal for anything other than a human being or a family of human beings to own a home. All right? Corporations? No. Any type of company whatsoever? No. Any business? No. Absolutely not. Why are they allowed to buy up 1 billion homes with cash over asking price to entice homeowners to do it? Because of course that benefits them. Why are they allowed to do that? How many homes in the United States are just empty? Literally empty right now. I bet if you looked into it, that answer might kind of freak you the hell out, especially in relation to how many homeless individuals we have across the country. Vanna White hires aggressive new lawyer after nearly 20 years on Wheel of Fortune without a pay raise. What? Okay, I know people used to like to make fun of her because they're like, all she does is push a button on the screen and look pretty. First of all, knock that shit right the hell off, okay? She's up there with Pat, too. She's doing a job, and she's doing it better than I would. I wouldn't know what the hell to do. Things that seem simple often aren't. Don't be a d***. But just a quick cursory Google shows that currently she's worth about $85 million, allegedly. Those numbers are super inaccurate, but let's just go by that, okay? Now, real quick, why don't we look at what Pat Sajak is worth? Weird. Oh, how the turntables. Sorry. He's worth $75 million. Again, these Google numbers don't mean a damn thing. If you look me up, I'm pretty sure that there are some websites that say I'm worth like $1 million. I'm worth like $14, okay? But just off of 2 Google searches, that's pretty crazy. Well, crazy if accurate, you know what I mean. Anyway, let's move on. It's funny that businesses are begging for workers instead of just getting those robots we're told will so easily replace us if we raise the minimum wage. We've been threatened with robots for so long now, and it's so funny whenever they do try. I mean, look, self-checkout's been very successful, but you notice that there are plenty of regular lines open at the grocery store still? I mean, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. Not open. There's usually 45 lanes that 2 employees are working, and I feel bad for them because they have to deal with a line of 900 people. Ron Perlman, the absolute legend. One thing before I get off this video. The who said we're gonna keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and apartments. Listen to me, There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it's financial, some of it's karma. And some of it's just figuring out who the said that. And we know who said that and where he lives. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people? You wish that families starve while you're making $27 million a year for creating nothing? Be careful, Be really careful, because that's the kind of that stirs up. Peace out. I'd like to thank Ron Perlman for being one of the coolest dudes I've ever seen in my life. Now, he was alluding to a certain man we're not going to name here on EmKay making $27 million a year, but he does indeed apparently run, allegedly, none of this is proven, he does allegedly run a certain goofy or silly, whimsical company with theme parks or something like that I'm a big fan of, unfortunately. But yeah, I can't imagine being a CEO of a company like that and thinking that you're actually worth anywhere near what you're being paid. Because he's pretty I'm a secret shopper that goes in and doesn't rat out the employees. I get paid to eat and always give a positive review. Hell to the yes. I'm sick of big companies trying to spy on employees. Some of the questions are just to find out who is slacking off. They want exact times and such. Even if I see someone not extremely excited to be at work, yeah, that's a question. I say they are. Screw them, and thanks for the money and free food. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've been secret shoppered at some of my jobs. We appreciate you. We are closed due to Alex walking out. We apologize for the inconvenience. You trying to shame him for knowing that he's worth more? I've been yelled at by people. I've been yelled at by family for saying that I am worth more than minimum wage before, because it was considered arrogant. I was very mistreated by people who were close to me in my life for thinking and knowing that I as a human being am worth more than $8 an hour or $11 an hour or anything like that. You are too. You're worth more than that as well. You're always worth more than you ever think. Trust me. And don't ever let anybody close to you shame you or make you feel like an arrogant asshole for knowing that you are worth an appropriate amount, okay? I hate this place. This is a new one for me. Thank you for applying on Indeed. I'd love to set up a time to talk with you this week. Please find a time on my calendar here. Also, to let you know, I am going to reject your application from Indeed. Don't let that worry you, though. We only do this so our company does not get charged for your application. Cool. A sushi restaurant in Oregon has to pay $375,000 after they were caught stealing wages from 11 workers and threatening to fire anyone who kept their cash tips. Nobody will go to jail for this, and the media doesn't give a shit. I like that. I like that a company, regardless of its size, can absolutely rob people blind. Absolutely rob them. And you can for sure trace that decision back to either one person or at least a small group of certain people, but they will never be punished for actual thievery. Isn't that great? I got fired. I dislocated my shoulder. 2 doctors told me it'd take 4 weeks to heal. I told my boss my progress every week, and he kept wishing my healing well. Come the 3rd week, I let him know I'm ready to come back next week, and he let me know he'd already replaced me. I feel so much anger for the work industry. I give them so much. A committed schedule, good personality, good service, conscientiousness, promptness, attention to detail, good and careful driving, good communication, etc. I get injured and no loyalty. Freaking replaced me while pretending I still had the job, only to let me know when I'm ready to come back. Duckin' bastards, man. People no longer believe working hard will lead to a better life, survey shows. What? Kindly look inward, dear landlords. The enemy is from within and not outside. My landlord wants to increase my rent from August by £150 due to also being affected by inflation as well as rate rise they can't afford to keep the rent at the same level. So I sent him this. No worries, thank you for letting me know. Please do tell the landlord that if she's struggling for more money, then perhaps she should get a real job and earn her own money instead of stealing mine. Regards, Florence. Okay? Yeah, isn't that great? Suck it! They fired my husband and have since come crawling back. Ooh, yes. We like that. My husband was fired from his job in January of 2021 after 10 plus years because we got COVID and he was down for the count for a month. 2 weeks ago, out of the blue, one of the higher-ups sent him a text asking him to reach out because she hadn't talked to him in a year. Yesterday, I found his old job being advertised for $5 more than what he was making when he was fired. This is the 3rd time since he was fired that I've seen it advertised. My husband was a construction manager. He took the job at 19, so he wasn't aware of the real value his work and position had. When he was fired, he was making $17 an hour. It's been a year and a half, and they're realizing they can't get anyone else to do that job for less than $30. I told him to reach back out and tell them he'll come back, but not for less than $45 an hour. You damn straight. Coming from Forbes, how did the writer sneak this one in? The forced return to the office is the definition of insanity. After 5 consecutive quarters of declining productivity, CEOs must abandon the sinking ship of forced in-office work and embrace flexible work. Yeah, they won't. South Park's creators have eliminated tipping at Denver's famed Casa Bonita. Servers now make $30 an hour, and some are mad mad. Yeah, the wrong people are mad. The people that we don't give a rat's ass about are mad. That's who. But I'm sure that the people that are making $30 an hour starting as a server at Casa Bonita, not even to say for the people that work in the kitchen or janitorial, that's pretty goddamn great. Okay, I've been to Casa Bonita. I'm really, really glad that these two fine billionaires bought the place and really shined it up. I can't wait to go back and support the business and all the people that work there. These two have been just fantastic heroes to me my whole life. I love these two psychopaths with all my heart. Isn't it great, though, to see them actually doing something at least decent? At least decent? This is like the bare minimum that people with their level of money could do. They did it out of real, pure, unironic love for a place they grew up adoring, and then went, okay, well, the people that work here deserve to be paid at least well, which in Denver, $30 an hour may still not be enough. Denver's pretty pricey now, dude. But you know what? It's a lot better than it was before. Not sure what they were making before, but there was no way it was more than 15, all right? Regret bringing more slaves into the world. No lying. Did you regret having children? Yes. My son is 27, suffering from chronic depression in a low-paying dead-end job without the faintest idea of how to get out of it. His life is an unending continuum of unhappiness and dissatisfaction. If I knew that he would develop like this, I would not have had him. I would not want to bring a person into this world outside of his own volition. What? If I knew that he would experience no joy in his existence. I was under the impression that almost all living creatures had at least the capacity for joie de vivre. I can't read that. And I assumed that it would be so for my child as well. I'm sorry, son. I don't know what to do. Boss is upset that I have a second job. Okay? This is a rant more so than anything. So I just got a second job at a large retail store that provides me with enough hours to finally make ends meet. After my first paycheck, I finally paid off a fine and my car. But the boss at my first job, gas station, doesn't seem too happy. He was encouraging about getting another job and also provided a good reference. But suddenly last week he got upset. He said, "Will you still come in if we need a shift covered?" And I said, "No, probably not. I have a part-time contract of 10 hours and have been working there for over a year. I've never worked more than 15 hours a week. I'm a full-time student as well." He seemed pissed that I suddenly was not at his beck and call and said, "We expect you to be flexible." And I said I was, for a year, but you didn't give me enough hours. I'm unreasonably annoyed by this. It just pushed my buttons, okay? They just hired a casual too. He's lucky I didn't quit on the spot. I know that you need that job, but man, 15 hours a week, I feel like we could find that for you anywhere, man. Hell, even at Spirit Halloween when it opens, all right? Screw that douchebag. United States. I don't know why I read it like that. It just felt right. I don't know. $72.5 million class action settlement. When you control an employee's time, you must pay them. Home Depot, oh great company, has to pay $72 million for employees to stand around. That's correct, okay? Employees just standing around have to be paid. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read this because I know what it's about, okay? I remember, again, with the UPS store, I know I've talked about it a couple of times. I remember that new owner that I mentioned before that got rid of a bunch of stuff. Well, he actually called me one day and told me to throw away the chairs and stools in my store. Wasn't a busy store. He just didn't like me sitting the f*** down and wanted to make sure that I stood at the counter. There's really not much that I can do, okay? There's not much that everybody can do. That's a big thing with the unions, actually. When I worked for IATSE, not as a full member, I was never a full member of IATSE, but I was, what's the term? Regardless, I did work with them and for them a couple of times, and standing around, sometimes that's part of the job, and they know it, and they don't care. When you can't be doing something, you can't be doing something. And yeah, if you control an employee's time, which is what you are doing, you owe them money. Hey guys, just a thought. But how about instead of canceling celebrities for comments they made years ago, we start boycotting companies that want bachelor's degrees and 3 to 5 years of experience for $13 an hour entry-level jobs. You know what? We should start freaking out a little bit more about $13 being entry-level anywhere. $13 should be absolutely nowhere at all, okay? if it's not enough for a human being to live on, and I'm not counting part-time. I know part-time is different. I do understand that. But if you're working full-time and you can't afford a home, then no, that place does not deserve to be in business. Just move to a place you can afford. Here's a map of the United States, but it's only states where someone making $15 an hour can afford a 2-bedroom apartment, okay? And I know our good buddy Zach is from Arkansas, or at least, please, for the love of God, tell me that's Arkansas and not something completely different. But yeah, look at that. Look at that right there. We've only got a few choices. 3, okay? And I know there are people out there that will look at this and go, 2 bedrooms? You don't need that, you selfish piece of shit. Okay, that's not the point. I'm a human being. And like me personally, I would need a 2nd bedroom. Why? Because I need an office to do my work. Oh, you can do that in your bedroom. Right now I do, okay? I do. I'm really, really sick and tired of people also trying to pull up the argument of, you don't need that much room, as if a 1-bedroom or a studio are any cheaper. Because I'm gonna blow your mind. A lot of the times, them being cheaper doesn't really pull much weight. Paris is drowning in trash because the bin men have gone on permanent strike against the retirement increase. Their energy bills are 50% of ours. They retire 6 years earlier. Their pension is 2 times higher. Yet, they'll still strike. Why are they better off? Because they strike. Yes, individually we beg. United, we bargain. All right? I fully support every strike across the world from every union and guild that I possibly can. Okay? I absolutely do, right? If I were a part of the Screen Actors Guild, which I have been trying to get into for years, I would absolutely be in Los Angeles with them right now on the streets. And that's the truth of the matter, okay? A lot of people like to poke fun at Ron Perlman or somebody else who's down there with them who are millionaires, like, oh, they don't need to worry, they're millionaires. Okay, I get that. But they're there because of the 84% of members of that union that don't make enough money to qualify for healthcare. The actors and people that are a part of it that really are the ones that would be seriously hurt by everything that's going on. So just remember, unions are not the baddie boy guys. They're not the bad men, okay? Just don't fall for people telling you they're the bad guys. I've worked with unions, I've worked for unions, blah, blah, blah. They're great, okay? I had never been paid more in my life up until working with IATSE on a few stage gigs, okay? It blew my mind that they were able to do that. It was awesome. I loved it. And I don't have much more to say on the matter, but I'm union strong, even though I'm technically not actually a part of one. I will do whatever I can to support them. And you know what? UPS, I hope you guys strike too, because everybody deserves to be treated like a goddamn person. Everybody deserves to make enough money to own a home and have a family and eat and drink. Everybody deserves that, okay? And that's all there is to it.